Hello world, I am Dr. Kulmeet Kunlas and I'm a primary care physician. Welcome to my YouTube channel Kunlas MD. The mission of Kunlas MD is to demystify complex healthcare information into actionable and understandable toolkit. Our goal is to empower you navigate healthcare quickly and effectively. We create content for your acute care, chronic care, and preventive care needs. We incorporate patient opinion polls and your comments into our content creation. In this video, I'll be discussing about tinnitus, the ringing in the ear. It is very common and very annoying problem. In my practice, I've seen people getting very anxious, depressed, and they end up resorting to very unusual and unconventional methods to resolve it. So let's discuss in this video in detail so that you understand this problem once for all, and let's come up with practical solutions so that you could take care of yourself. It is a very common problem. About 15 to 20% of us will have tinnitus. It is constant ringing. You need to understand how this works. The way our ears are designed, the sound waves when they strike our eardrum, the sound is amplified and is passed down to our inner ear. In our inner ear, there are some specialized hair cells which converts this sound energy in the form of vibration into chemical energy, and it is passed down to our brain where the sound is interpreted and we normally hear and can differentiate about different tones and pitches of sound. Unfortunately, people who have this tinnitus, they have problem with this mechanism. The hair cells in the inner ear, they are faulty. They are sending sound impulses when there is no stimulus. So it is like when we get peripheral neuropathy and the nervous system is screwed up and we are sending the impulses, but there is no real reason to send the impulses. So it keeps on sending these impulses and you have constant ringing. You do everything to prevent it and stop it, but it becomes very annoying. Now let's discuss why you develop it. It is estimated and is practically known now that people who are involved into activities which are high in sound exposure all their life, they are pretty much destined to have this problem. But these days our social behaviors like wearing headsets and playing games on computers all the time, and these kids have very high sound and they will develop tinnitus rather than being at old age. It is estimated that now it will start happening in the younger population. It is sad, but there is a change in our society norms, so we have to pay the price. Other common reason is if you lose hearing for one or the other reason, or you have ear canals have a wax, if they're blocked up, you could have this ringing in the ear. Then certain medications, that is a big chunk, and we should pay attention to our medications and make sure we have our medication list reviewed by our primary care physician. Most common medications are over-the-counter, ibuprofen, aspirin, and sometimes the medication which your doctor may prescribe. Certain antibiotics, which biggest class in those is aminoglycosides. You don't need to know the names, but if you have taken certain kind of antibiotic, you are at high risk to develop ringing in the ears. Other very common medication is diuretics. They also are very much prone to give you sometime ringing in your ear. Then these days with the advent of, we are seeing a lot of people are taking hydroxychloroquine. They are procuring it legally or illegally, and all anti-malarial medications, including quinidine, chloroquine, hydroxychloroquine, they are at high risk to give you the ringing in the ear. We use hydroxychloroquine a lot in a lot of immunological diseases. It's a beautiful drug, but this has sometimes side effects to that. Another class medication to watch for is your antidepressants. The common ones is your Prozac, Paxil, Celexa, and Lexapro. All these medications can give you sometimes ringing in your ear. Further, anti-anxiety medications like benzodiazepines, Xanax, and all those medications are also known to give you tinnitus. And the last medications is antiviral medications, which we use it a lot for herpes zoster or the shingle, which we call it, and those medications can give you tinnitus. Further, how do we define how bad the problem is? Many times, if you're lucky, this is very self-limiting and it goes away. Then we call it acute. If this tinnitus stays for a long time and is constantly troubling you, then we call it chronic. Then how can we diagnose? Unfortunately, there is no single test. If your physicians can do that and could tell you whether you have or you don't have. Remember, it's a subjective feeling. This sound is heard by only you, and nobody else can reproduce it. But as physicians, we make sure we do certain tests like number one, CAT scan or MRI to rule out other problems which you may have. So that will still not give you a reason for your ringing, but it will help you to rule out the other reasons for your ringing. Further, also the test which is very commonly used and should be used to make sure you don't have hearing loss. The next test is your hearing test, and you are high risk to develop ringing sensation if you have hearing loss. Now let's talk about how we could prevent it. As I said, sound exposure is the reason to develop ringing. So let's do everything to prevent loud sounds while we are young and invincible, because that will lead to problems as we go along. Further, what are the medications we could use for this annoying problem? As you know, we have no particular reason which we could pinpoint and it will lead to treating your tinnitus. But multiple medications have been tried. Most common were tricyclic antidepressants, anti-anxiety medications, anti-convulsion medications, and then also meditation and cognitive behavior therapy has been very effective. Further, there is a new device by one of the company called Neuromod, which is approved, which helps you to decrease or treat this annoying sensation which you constantly have. Remember, as I said, there's a pathway where your inner ear has hair cells which are sending signals when there is no sound. So what we are doing is we are trying to suppress that sound other parts of the brain. In this device, we send impulses through your tongue and also through your headsets which we wear. We send auditory stimulus and also touch sensation stimulus from your tongue with that device. And then if we use it on daily basis, there is no written protocol yet which I could find, but it has been tried, and a lot of people who have been compliant with this medication, they find it very significant improvement. Last but not least, one thing which is very, very important is your hearing aids. Some people use music therapy and other alternative ways to do that. A lot of people have resorted to doing certain kind of yogas. I think all bets are on the table because we truly don't have very effective treatment for that. Hopefully this video is helpful. Please join the change and also be a part of our growing community of healthcare warriors. Please subscribe to our channel and let's navigate healthcare effectively, correct and evidence-based information. Please join me on other social media platforms. I am Dr. Kulmeet Kunlas, and I'm thrilled you are here.